As Governor Serike Dixon Reconciliation Committee finds a lasting solution to the lingering crisis in the People's Democratic Party, the Senator Hamdan McAfee Group insists there is no agreement reached yet, a political solution into the matter. And significant developments continue to emerge in Nigeria's economic landscape. We assess the Buhari government policies and the current impact, cosmetic or lasting results to get the nation out of recession. Find out right here on the program, and that's our focus on the program tonight. Many thanks for joining in, everyone. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimaloye in Lagos. Let's begin tonight by taking some critical assessment of the nation's economy. Nigeria slid into recession last year, with oil production getting to a disappointing low of about 1.6 million barrels per day, and the global crude oil price went as low as $35. Exchange rate also went to an all-time world to about 520 naira to the dollar in that region. But recently, a few things appear to be changing. Let's take a look at a recent outlook of the economy of the nation. The 2017 budget projections, let's take a look at what it looks like. The benchmark of crude oil price, $42.5 per barrel. That's what the Buhari government put in the 2017 budget, and the projection for oil production estimate 2.2 million barrels per day. And the exchange rate on the projection is 305 naira to the US dollar. Well, now, what we currently see as of today is that Nigeria currently has about 2 million barrels per day as against 1.6 million barrels per day of oil production that was seen at the end of 2016. And if you look at the value of the dollar, at the interbank market, you will see that presently it's about 308. At early 2017, 305. But at the parallel market, 380 naira. Early 2017, 520 naira. That's the difference that you will see. What about Nigeria Forex Reserves? Early 2017 is $27.2 billion. And now we can see it's about $30 billion. Headline inflation in January, 17.7%, and February, 18.7%. A lot of people say drastic differences in Nigeria's budget. But the question is, are these changes cosmetic, or they are for real, rock solid? Outlook, let's get perspective to these. If something that we get Nigerians smiling as its plans to get out of recession. Let's get perspective from Mr. Bismarck, Rewane, and economics, who joins us from his office in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. This snapshot that we've just shown to our viewers and displayed right now, are these just cosmetic or something that you think will keep getting better on a consistent basis?
No, they are not cosmetic. The results you see today are the result of work that has been done over the past year. Some of it accelerated in the last month or two. But let's not get carried away. First and foremost, oil production was down and oil price was down. Now we've got oil production back up, and oil price is at least averagely at about $50 a barrel. It is not because Nigerians are working harder. It's not because anything has happened. There's no magical wand to it. It's just because your oil revenues have increased, and that has actually served as a catalyst. Now, let us go. The fact that a strong exchange rate is not synonymous with a strong economy. The economy is still in recession, and it has to come out, and that process is going to be slow. It's going to call for an increase in output, increase in activity, increase in employment, and that process has started. The exchange rate is being managed more effectively, but look at the numbers. In the last, from February 20 till today, we put in $2.2 billion. That's about a month. If you multiply that by 12, you're talking about $24 billion. Your reserves are $30 billion. The height of the reserves a year ago was about the same amount. So do you want to use your reserves fully to support a currency, an artificial rate of a currency? That's the question that needs to be answered. However, we must not lose sight of the fact that the currency is in a better place. It's been better managed than it was in the last 6 months, where it was not managed at all. Now, we now have a situation where all the public opinion is there. It's now in the public domain. The central bank is sitting on it and trying to work hard to achieve this objective. But as long as we have multiple exchange rates, the question of exchange rate convergence will not be accomplished. Because the day you stop and the day you don't announce supply, some of these rates will reverse themselves very quickly. These rates are volatile and fragile.
We've seen some developments on the 2016 budget. We've seen the National Assembly approve the 500 million euro bond for the deficit to fix some part of the 2016 budget. And again, with all of this, the question on the minds of many Nigerians and the interpretation of it, however, is the kind of food that gets on your table and the prices that have been slashing the exchange rates right now. Do you think that the government of Buhari is getting things right, or this is just perhaps a consequence of the development in the oil market?
It's a combination of two things. One, they're doing it right. Secondly, the oil markets we have what we call tailwinds. We are being pushed forward. But the key to the answer to this question is about productivity. When productivity increases, output increases. When output increases, inflation declines. When inflation declines, there's stability in an economy. That is fundamental. This is 001 economics. Now, what we are seeing is that we are asking for sustainability and consistency, clarity of message and consistency of signals. That we are beginning to see. There's greater coordination, greater alignment. And so what I'm trying to say that the Nigerian has suffered a severe cut in his income because of a devaluation and because of inflation. If inflation begins to come down gradually and the currency begins to appreciate consistently, it is tantamount to an increase in income. But an increase in income is not the same thing as an increase in liquidity. There's a lot of mix-up between increased liquidity. You can borrow liquidity, but you cannot borrow income. Income has to be earned. Nigerians have to now begin to earn income, and the only way to earn income is to put them to work. To put them to work, Nigeria has to invest. For Nigeria to invest, you can either waste your money supporting a currency which is probably slightly overvalued, or you can use it and invest it in capital expenditure so that people can get back to work, and then the multiplier effect and the catalyst to reflate the economy. I must use this opportunity also to talk about power. Power needs to be addressed. There are some solvency issues there, but the country cannot get away from the fact that it has to invest heavily in power. If not, all of these things are going to be meaningless.
The communication between government and the Nigerian people becomes a big question. If the government, like you said, is doing something that is right, fixing the economy, but it looks so much that there is a disconnect, am I right?
No, I think you can only explain things that you understand. You see, we assume that everybody understands what I call common sense economics. Not everybody understands it. There's sentiment, there's fear, there's greed, there's speculative activity, and there's vested interest. The country's message has to be consistent and credible. The country's messengers have to be credible. You cannot say X in the morning and say Y in the evening. There's too much of flip-flopping around. That is why the Nigerian people are sick and tired of inconsistency and incredible messengers who either do not understand or seek to confuse the public with their ignorance and arrogance of ignorance.
All right, just in a second, hopes and aspirations of Nigerians, because on this platform, we're looking at political economics, not those figures that some average Nigerians don't see the impact as much on the table. Before you leave, Mr. Bismarck Rewane, in the coming days, hopes, good news, bad news?
No, there'll be good news, but don't be carried away. This is not a silver bullet. This is a long-term thing. There's going to be a slow, painful recovery, and it's going to be dependent on hard work. It's going to be dependent on investment in railways, infrastructure, airports, power stations, and all of these things. Until this has happened, do not think that a 6-week flash in the pan is going to be sustainable. It's not going to be sustainable, except it is tied to hard work and high investment.
Bismarck Rewane, economics, talking to us in Lagos. Many thanks, Mr. Rewane.
Thank you.